forward to record. Okay, so just to continue. So here, when you are writing a program in C programming language, you will write it as test.c if the file name is test. So I'm assuming that the program is written in test.c file. So finally, from this program, an executable file will be generated. In Linux environment, this executable file is this one. Okay. So from this test.c, this executable file will be generated. Okay. So if we, after generating this executable file, so this executable file is basically machine level code. Okay. So this machine level code or machine level program, this one will run on your system. So how it will be converted from this .c file, how it will be, the executable file will be generated. I will show you the steps so that you can understand that how it is being converted. So here, so this executable code is basically a machine level code. This one is machine level code. This one is machine level code, and this source code is basically high level program. This one is high level program, and this one is machine level program. Okay. This one is machine level program. In the intermediate step, an assembly code is being generated. Okay. So this is not high level program. Even this is not machine level code. An intermediate code is being generated here. Okay. You can easily analyze it, but even if we want to write a program in assembly level code, it's very hard to do it at this moment. So we will always prefer a high level programming language. So you'll see some other programs, it will be converted to assembly level code as well as to a machine level code. And ultimately on your system, a machine level code will be executed because a machine will understand only 0 and 1, nothing else. Okay. Now, just to begin with, if you want to understand that on your system, just like this one, I'm going back to on this system, many programs are installed. Even lots of programs are developed for operating system. Okay, so we want to understand what is a program. If we're going to write any program, you have to understand what is a program. In any language, it can be written. So what do you understand by a program? You are already familiar with Python.
Yes, so you're asking this?
Yeah.
So, program is basically nothing but a set of instruction that we provide to a computer or our device in order to, so that it can go through our problem and do that as per we say it. Means as per we give it the instructions.
Okay. So all of you have written some program, I think, as you have already gone through Python. Is there anyone
Yes.
who has? Oh, right,
So
so
who has not written you asking, or so who has written is there anyone?
is there anyone who has not written anything in programming language? Using any programming language, you are not familiar at all with any programming language. Is there anyone? So everyone is familiar with at least one programming language. I do not expect that you are expert, but you have some knowledge at least. Okay. Now, if we say that Python, you have written a program abc.py. Okay. So just I will use Notepad. Okay. You have written a program abc.py. This is a Python program to print hello world, nothing else. So this one is program. Okay. So do you have any idea of process? Like on my Windows system, if I go to Task Manager, here you will get a list of processes. Okay, a list of processes are there. Now, is there any relationship with program and process?
Yes, sir.
We need to
There.
understand. Yeah, what's the relationship?
So basically, after we give the code to the computer, then the computer needs to compile it. The code needs to be compiled in some kind of compiler or something. Means the machine needs to run the code. Means the machine needs to understand the code by itself. Means the high level language that we are giving it, it needs to be transformed into the machine language. So it needs to
Okay.
go to the assembly language first, then it needs to transform in the machine language. Then the computer will execute the code and it will give us back the output.
Um, I'm going back to this screen. Now, I have written a program abc.py. Okay. Now, this program is kept in my file system. Still now, is there any memory allocation for this program abc.py? I have written that program. I have saved it in my C drive in my documents. Is there anything, any memory or CPU is allocated for this program? The answer is no. Still now, memory or CPU or processor is not allocated for this program. So this is nothing but a file which is stored in my system. Okay. Now, if I want to run this program, so if this program is for calculator, this abc.py, or instead of abc.py, if the program is name is calculator, it's a calculator.py. Okay, the program name is calculator.py. So this calculator.py, this file is kept in my system, so memory is not allocated as well as CPU is not allocated for this program. So this is just a file, nothing else. So when I will run this program, when I will run this calculator.py, at that time CPU and memory will be allocated for this program. Then this program becomes a process which will be enlisted here. So if I run this program calculator.py, so when the program is running, you can check it on your system. When you are running this program, then it will be enlisted here as a process. So in process list, it will be shown. Okay. So when it becomes a process, at that time, memory as well as CPU, these things are allocated. So at that time, you will get this information that this percentage CPU is being used by this program or process, as well as this percentage of memory is being used by this process. Okay. So if it is related to disk input output operation, or if the program is linked with network, some data transfer is needed through internet or through local, through network. I will not use internet at this moment. So if it requires some data transfer through network, then these attributes will be visible. Okay. So the things will be shown here. So basically, I want to clarify that when you have written a program, memory as well as CPU, these things are not allocated for this program. The file is kept in our system as file only. It's not a process. So when you will run this program, then this program becomes a process. So when it becomes a process, at that time, memory as well as CPU will be allocated for it. Okay? So resources are required in a process. Okay? So if I want to run a program, it will act as a process. Now, when this process is running, then it requires, sorry, when the program is running, when it becomes a process, at that time, the resources are required. Okay? So, if a process requires some resources, we must think of resource requirement and on which platform we are running it. Like, we know that in your smartphone, you have Android operating system or iOS. On a basic phone, again, there is an operating system. Okay, but resources are limited. In a basic phone, you have only few kilobytes of memory. In a smartphone, you have few gigabytes of memory. Okay, so when you are writing a program, you must think of resource allocation. It's just not like I can use anything or any technique or programming tools to solve this problem. So at the end of this semester, we will expect that you will be familiar with these things, that when you are going to develop any program to solve a problem, then you must think of many things. It's not just about programming syntaxes and semantics, but beyond that, you have to think. So just for example, you're going to develop a calculator. Now, for which platform it will be developed? Is it for Android? Is it for Windows platform? Is it for Linux platform? Or we are going to develop this calculator for a basic phone? Based on that, many decisions will be taken. So just without analyzing the platform, on which platform it will run, without analyzing it, you can't write code, because the things are dependent on the platform for which you are going to develop it. Mhm. So if you are going to design a calculator for basic phone, because we know that even in a basic phone, we have a basic calculator by which you can perform this addition, subtraction, this type of operation. So if you are going to develop this program for a basic phone, then the techniques will be different. So in this paper, we'll try to understand, and always we'll try to analyze that how it will work, for what kind of platform we are going to develop it. Because the things are very important, because ultimately the program will be executed on some system. Okay, so try to think beyond the programming syntaxes. Just learning programming syntaxes will take very short time, but many things we have to think. Okay, now how much time we have?
So 7 minutes.
7 minutes. Okay. Okay. Um, in C programming, familiar with C programming? in 10th or 12th, have you done some coding?
So those who are from ICC and CBSE, they have done probably not C exactly, but they have done some kind of programming. But most of the people who are from West Bengal, who are from West Bengal board, they have not done any programming.
Okay, I need this background because I will continue in that way. Okay. So, okay, I will not continue this class today. We have only 6 minutes now, and so I will end this session for today. From next class, I don't know why the device is not working.
So
From the
can
next
you,
class,
so can you suggest us some books in whatever chapters you will be teaching us?
for learning C programming language,
So not for the whole C programming, but so for the parts that you will be teaching us.
you have to go through this book. Just I will show you. Gottfried. You have to go through this.
Okay, sir.
This one. Author is Byron Gottfried.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Sorry for today's class because I have not checked it. Even yesterday I have taken the class using the same device, but I don't know why it's not working.
No,
Until I
sir.
can write
No,
anything.
sir. It's all right, sir. Say in the initial classes, everyone is taking just the introduction part. It's not a problem.
Okay, so from the next class, we'll start some programming. But before going to any programming syntaxes, we need some discussion. Okay, so probably programming will be started after 2 more classes.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so fine for today. I'm leaving this. I'm ending this
Sir,
session.
sir, attendance.
Okay, I'm taking the attendance. Okay, we'll meet in the next class.
Thank you, sir.